Hello, everybody. This is Lingareddy, Assistant Professor of Commerce. Welcome you all to this KLR Virtual Academy. This is a platform created for developing and providing content in the form of video lectures and some assignments and some tasks for the people, particularly pursuing UG and PG and professional courses and preparing for some competitive examinations. This is an ideal way that is intend to provide all the queries for the student community towards enriching themselves on their own way, right? So this academy provides series of lectures regard to selective topics that may be related to your UG level or PG level or professional course level, and that may be useful for your career development also, right? So from today onwards, we have been moving a new topic called as communication skills in professional context. I am repeating, communication skills in professional context, right? So this is a particular course being offered by, this is a particular course being offered by the universities all over the country at UG level and PG level, and in the form of some diploma courses also, right? So ignore that whether it is your part of syllabus or part of your course or part of your content. I assure you that after going through the lectures prepared and conveyed for this professional or communication skill development, definitely you will be in a position to how to speak, how to react, how to write, how to read, and how to present, how to face communication context regard to individual situations, at public situations, at group context, and at social context, and at your personal context also. That's why. So don't think that this is not the topic meant for our course. No doubt, this is a part and parcel curriculum prevailed in UG for BA, BCom, BSc, and BBA. In PG level also we have the course in the form of professional communication or communication skills or communication development or soft skills. The name it is related to the university, MA, MCom, MSc courses also. So I assure you once again, by listening this series of lecture regard to communication, definitely you will be in a position to understand the backdrop and the relevance and your status regard to communication process, right? Professional communication, the title itself I put here because communication skills now we are discussing in the professional context, because professional communication or professional context is an important aspect where students are supposed to expose themselves, to prove themselves, and to survive themselves in their career, right? Say the communication skills concept, if it is supposed to taught at any UG or PG level, that content to be divided into 4 aspects or 4 units. The first unit will be the content related to verbal communication, and second one presentation skills are somewhat written communication skills, and third one is writing skills, and fourth one is corporate writing. Since the topic is professional communication, that's why this is this series is being divided into 4 important phases. So this series of lectures will include this context in a professional and organized way, right? Now we are going to the actual era of our topic, communication. The word communication, if you count the letters of communication, it will have, it have 13 letters. It is a 13 letter word. If you take a paper and pen and scribing yourself by, writing your own words, using these 13 words, you will get many words like on, in, common, caution, many kind of words, many number of words you can derive from these 13 letters. If you look at that words you have written on your scribing pad for a while, you will see a beautiful word among these called as common. This common is the backdrop and backbone of this communication topic. That's why communication is common to all. It is important, and it is must and mandatory for a common man. It is must and mandatory for a technical person, and it is compulsory and common for a business entity. It is common for a government. It is common for a group of people, and it is common for a national or international level organization also, right? What I mean to say, it is a common thing for all in the universe. That may be a creature, that may be a human being, or that may be artificially created person like an organization. That's why one must know what is the meaning of and backdrop and the context of communication at any level. They must understand and they must comprehend the things that are meant for the communication paradigm, right? So that's why communication is a process by which, simple statement I am reading here, communication is a process by which meanings, facts, ideas, opinions, and emotions are to be exchanged with other people, right? So this is a process. Just we are saying that this is a process. That means it is a continuous activity, and this is a exchanging activity, means taking and giving. So what you are taking and what you are giving, you are taking and giving meanings, your ideas, or some facts, your opinions, or your thoughts, or your feelings, and your emotions, right? Any kind of things mentioned here, if exchanged with other, definitely this is called as communication. See, I'm delivering a talk at this platform, right? I'm showing some insights regard to communication, what I have learned from my teachers to you. Here I'm saying, here I'm sharing some of my ideas and some of facts and some of my experiences to you. That's why all things that are exchanged to other can be called as communication. And it is the essential condition of our existence and our most important activity. See, two words are, this is an important thing that is meant for our existence. If a human being want to survive himself, he need to communicate with others. If a business entity or any kind of organization wish to survive itself in the world, it must communicate with its stakeholders. That's why it is a essential thing for an individual and for an entity. And this is the most important activity. Many activities we are taking, ourselves in our day-to-day life. That's why communication is a important activity. The next one, it is the first and foremost social activity, because we are living in the society, right? This is the first and ever best activity in the society or socialization process. We can see communication glimpses many times and many more in the society and the social backdrop. After all, our family is a part of society. That's why we can see the glimpses of communication in our family and your neighbors and with your the habitation and somewhat in the society also. The next one, if you go the technical aspect, the word communicate, communication, communicating, communicate are some English phrases being used by the backdrop of its grammar and some sentence framing. That's why the word communication or communicate is derived from a Latin word called as communicare. Communication is derived from communicare, and that communicare means in the Latin language called as communis, and its meaning is common. The word I'm starting with common. That's why this is a common thing. This is a common activity, and this is common to all. That's why this become common intrinsic life skill in our human life. That's why it is a common thing. So if it is a common thing, one must accept and adhere it and learn to use this communication in a proper way for effective communicating and effective means of exchanging of their ideas and feelings. Okay, and basically communication can be categorized into two ways called as verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Verbal communication is such usage of words, languages. I'm saying usage of words and languages in communication process, and such is called as verbal communication. On the other hand, usage of sounds, symbols, signs, and some gestures and your body language, such mechanism is called as non-verbal communication. We are using both in our day-to-day life. In some areas, verbal communication is suitable. In some areas, non-verbal communication is suitable. And in some areas, both categories are suitable. So, as I told you, I assure you, for better knowledge of communication, definitely I am saying once again, after listening all the series, lecture series in communication skills, definitely you will be able to know where verbal communication to be used and where non-verbal communication is to be used. And if you go a simple definition of communication, communication is the process of exchanging and transferring information between two parties through a medium for a specific response. Everything included in this simple definition. It is a process. I am saying again, it is a process. That means continuous activity, and it involves exchanging, means taking and giving, and it is an taking and giving activity called for what? You are exchanging information. Information is nothing but processed data. Data is nothing but collection of details. If such details are organized in a proper way, then that is called as information. Don't go for that. Information only meant for communication. Sometimes data also used for exchanging as means of communication. So that's why the apex word of data called as information I am using between two parties. Remember that there must be minimum two parties for fulfillment of this communication activity. The two parties may be individual, the two parties may be an individual with a group, the two parties may be two groups, and the two parties may be individual with organization and individual to group or organizations to organization. And don't go for that. If you communicate yourself, then here are two parties that yourself. So parties shall not be, need not to be two individuals. Parties may be one individual, but one time you are saying and one time you are listening, and you are saying and you are listening and you are responding to yourself. This is called as intrapersonal, talking to your own. Many people by listening are also thinking themselves for the next activity. I am also thinking for the next coming lecture also by delivering this one. That's why if you are thinking yourself also one kind of communication. That's why two parties must be involved in this. And next one, you communicate, you must exchange this information through a channel that is called as a medium. If you are talking to your friend, then vocal communication is there. If you are talking to your friend who is not in front of you, then you are supposed to talk with him through a mobile, through a mail, through a letter. Here, mail, mobile, letter. If you are using for better sound a microphone, a loudspeaker, or otherwise you are exchanging your ideas through a media. There also I'm using some YouTube channel. These are some mechanisms and carriages that carries the information quotient to the target people or target destination, then that is called as medium of communication. First one, parties of communication, here medium of communication, and the content of communication called as message or information. And for all what mean for why I'm saying all this to you, why I'm delivering this talk, I want to enrich your knowledge base. I want to develop your, I want to convert your knowledge into your skill, that is your practice or your experience. This is my expected outcome. The expected outcome is called as specific response. Even though it is involving all aspects, I mean to say, you are using message or information, you are exchanging, two parties are involving, a proper media is being selected. But unless the response from each other, this is not called as communication. Many people fail to understand this process and fail to communicate effectively. Often you are used to say, a teacher used to say, my students are not responding. A parent used to say, my kids are not following. A leader is used to say, my followers are not on my way. I'm unable to convey myself. They are not following my words. They fail to understand. They didn't give me an opportunity. These kind of statements are the results of breakup of communication process. The specific response, if not delivered, attained, there is no usage of such mechanism, communication, even though it is a common activity. That's why I mean to say one must know what a specific response you are expecting from the people who are speaking with you, with them. That's why. So this is the important backdrop of communication base, that one must know what is what and what are the relevance of the elements of communication. Right. Next one, the second and important part of this session is communication process. You can see on your screen a picture was placed before you. Simply in red color symbol, you have some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 phases with connecting an arrow mark with dual way, not in a single way. You can see sender connected with message, message is connected with medium, medium is connected with receiver, receiver is further connected with feedback, and feedback connected with the sender. That means this is a circle. That's why this is called as process. So process means continuous activity. Process means terminating activity where you are starting. That's why. So this is so you can simply say that this is communication process, and this also called as phases of communications, and this also called as the stakeholders of communication activity, right? So communication process starting with sender. Sender is a person or entity that is meant or intend to send or exchange some message or media, information to the other part. Just we have discussed two parties must be involved in this communication process. The party, first party, don't go further, who is first and who is second, right? Like here, I am saying that sender is such who is supposed to send or deliver or transform his ideas or views, is called as a sender. Here I am sending, delivering this talk. In this process, I am the sender. The person may become sender and the person may become receiver on time being also. And next one, message. Second phase is message. Just we are discussing that exchanging of ideas, opinions, observation, fact findings, or emotions, what it may be. So all can be called as a message in communication context, right? So this is the outer base of the information called as message. You can see that two important words above and below to the message in blue color, encoding and decoding. If such message is a common message and anyone can see, then that message is to be communicated directly. No. If you want to send the message to the target people and you don't want to allow or give access to the unauthorized person, then such message is to be converted into another form that is called as coded form or secret form. Then this is called as encoding. Encoding is the activity of converting actual message into another form. Then next, decoding means converting of that encoded message into the actual form is called as decoding. You have these words in communication technology or computer technology or information technology called as encryption and decryption. Encryption or decryption. In some agencies, particularly defense agencies, investigating agencies, or secret services, or some kind of organizations are using this kind of mechanism called as encoding and decoding, or sending secret messages. Okay. The next one, medium or channel. This is the traveler or the transporting mechanism agency that is, I mean, carrying message from the sender to the receiver. So this is the interlinkage between the origination of message and the destination of message, called as a medium or channel. Here I am using YouTube channel. Some way you are supposed to use your mobile. In mobile, you can communicate through talking or through text or through sending some multimedia captions. Using a loudspeaker, using a microphone, communicating, I mean using a poster, I mean demonstrating, all called as medium or channels of communication. This is the second phase one must know. First, we said that what specific outcome you are supposed to intend, I mean receive from this communication. And the second is a type of channel or type of medium. Choosing of type of channel or medium is most important. Right medium or right channel to be used for right purpose of communication. The effectiveness of communications is primarily depending of not the sender, not the receiver, not the message, but the right medium, right channel. In this series of lecture, we are focusing on this medium or channels. For what kind of channel to be used for which kind of communication context. Then next one, receiver, on the counterpart to the sender is called as receiver. He is the target person or target entity or target group of people or target groups or target organization is called as a receiver. Here UG and PG students and some research students and some senior students are listening my talk. You are the target people, right? So they are called as receiver. You must define the target people before you are delivering any talk, or before you are sending any message, or before you are choosing any channel. That's why the counterpart of communication process is called as a receiver. And that receiver is supposed to receive this message and respond himself. If you fail to receive response from the target receiver, then such communication process is idle, sunken, or somewhat sinking. So the response from the receiver flowing from the receiver to the sender is called as technically feedback. Means feeding from the receiver to the back. I mean where that message or communication is started from the sender. That's why this is feedback. You are making whistles and claps when your favorite hero making fights or dances, or your favorite cricketer hitting sixes or fours, or your favorite bowler hitting wickets. Right or not? Right? So that's why your response is important. So which kind of response you are supposed to, I mean, exhibit is important thing. So, dear participants, I mean to say that if you are aware of what kind of message to be sent, whether it is to be encoded or not, how the sender to be react, how the receiver to be react, I mean, what kind of medium to be selected for which kind of context, and what kind of feedback. If you make claps in a meditation, then that conveys a wrong notion. That's why which kind of feedback to be followed. If you have a basic idea of all these, this is called as communication skills. Having about the concept is communication knowledge. Application of that knowledge is in a proper way is called as communication skills. Soft skills, communication skills. This is a costly affair or costly course nowadays we are seeing in the world. many organizations offering courses to improve your communication skill base. My dear friends, I assure you that this is a free cost communication skill enriching program. After having followed these lectures, and you can be in a position to use this knowledge in the form of a practice, in the form of skill, definitely you will be a effective communicator. Definitely you will be effective teacher. Definitely you will be an effective manager, and definitely you will be an effective citizen, right? So this effectiveness can be possible when you understand the communication process. Even though you are speaking yourself, this communication process, these 5 phases to be involved. Even though you are speaking with your friends or a chit chat, then also this process is required. Even though you are communicating or you are making yourself communication with your parents or with your peer groups, with your teacher or with your leader or your team manager or with your leader, everywhere, this is an important aspect. A successful manager is a person who uses LCM parameters. L stands for leading his team. C stands for communicating his team. And M stands for motivating his team. So communication and intrinsic part in managerial function also. Teacher will be successful if you use, if such teacher use effective communication skill base while he is delivering a talk, while he is demonstrating a experiment. A parent is a successful person if you use effective communication mechanism. That's why this is a common thing. Even the unsound or unlanguaged creatures will be successful by making themselves for better communication. A parrot is speaking, a bird is flying, a bird is making sound, a horse is making some sounds in order to communication. It's feelings. That's why communication is a feeling conveying process, and communication is a cognitive process. Communication is purely derived from your mindset. Not only mindset, it is purely from your brain, right? So the things associated with your brain is called as cognitive things, right? And communication is associated with your brain, and communication is associated with your activities called as motor activities. Your body activities, right? So communication is a combination of both mind and motor activity. If you use only mind, that means you are only thinking but unable to said yourself, express yourself. That is a poor communication. Not poor communication. It is with beyond the out of the communication. If you are using only activities without any words or something, only using your body language, then it is not. That's why to the what extent of your mind to be used and to the what extent of your motor to be used can be known by having understanding of communication knowledge base. Okay, I think you got some basic idea about communication. It is a common activity to the every creature, and right from the creature to the organizations also. And this is a process of exchanging of ideas, opinions, facts, and your emotions. And this is an exchanging process with a specific response. The people who are involved in this communication, activity can be called as sender, message, and medium or channel of communication, and a receiver, and the feedback mechanism. I hope you have got the basic idea of communication. In the coming series, we are further exploring the topic in a technical and practical way. Till that, have a nice time. Stay at home and stay safe. Good to see you again.